honored guest, respected supervisor of Alberta South District, Mrs. Divina W. Dalanon, our dynamic school principal, Mr. Ruben E. Pailado, diligent teachers, supportive and loving parents, families, friends, and fellow completers. A pleasant and wondrous morning to all. Time sure flies fast, doesn't it? To think that it had already been 4 years ever since the first time I stepped into the school grounds as an official and registered student of the Mulaan National High School. I could still remember how nervous I was back then. My hands were trembling in both nervousness and excitement. Nervous because I wasn't sure if my new classmates will like me and would be able to get along with me. But at the same time, I was also excited because I'll be meeting new people and would be starting another chapter of my life. And just like back then, today as well, I am trembling in both nervousness and excitement. It had been 4 years since I began studying in DNHS. Most of us had seen each other's faces and watched as each other changed and grew little by little the past few years. All those days of hardships to get a passing grade, all those efforts. After walking such a long road for the past 4 years, we finally managed to arrive here. Today, finally, we will be finishing our junior high school studies and we will be able to move on to another chapter of our lives. But it wasn't easy, was it? Not just to us students, but to our teachers and our parents as well. All of us definitely have our own circumstances. Some that are quite the same, and some that are leagues away and different from the others. Whatever they may be, circumstances are circumstances. And as if to challenge us and our conviction, one huge ordeal came and set not just us, but the whole world ablaze. A crisis came to life, one that was able to shake the whole world. More than a year ago, the COVID pandemic came to life and soon became a worldwide crisis. There is no denying that the said pandemic, COVID-19, was the epicenter and the eye of the storm of changes that came into our lives. One of the most noticeable changes that it brought was the suspension and the delay of the face-to-face classes. In the face of a foe that we cannot see, rules and precautionary measures were implemented to lessen, if not stop, the spread of the said virus, which endangers our lives. One of the said precautionary measures was the prohibition of mass gatherings, which led to the suspension, prohibition might be the more fitting term, of face-to-face classes. Face-to-face classes was prohibited to keep us students and our teachers safe. But as much as the government wanted to protect us, it also didn't want us and our education to halt or come into a stop. They thought of a solution, and the result was the different ways of distance education. Printed modular learning, online classes, blended curriculum. All of these and much more were the conclusions that they ended up with. Our teachers, the ones who were tasked with educating us, moved and did their part. They printed out modules and made sure to distribute them to us students. In spite the dangers, in order to continue and not halt our precious education, they did their best. And we, the students, also made our decision and moved in accordance with it. We want to continue our studies. We want to move up and move on into the next level. That was the choice and the decision that we made. Just as how our teachers did their best to distribute the modules, we also did our best to claim and answer them. Though we might have had our own hardships and difficulties in adjusting and adapting into the new way of education, we didn't give up. As our teachers offered us their hands, we accepted them. As we students reached out to them for help, they helped us. In these increasingly difficult times of losses and trials, it is undeniably hard to seek for motivation and the strength to keep going. In the face of the obstacle in front of us, some had already lost their strength. People crumbled upon the pressure from the challenge hindering us. It is no denying that carrying on despite the difficulties and setbacks is easier said than done. This past school year, we all have our fears and doubts. And yet, despite all of that, here we are today, standing proud and tall with smiles on our lips and gazes filled with determination. We did our best. We kept on moving forward. And through the difficulties, we kept our faith. Our parents, guardians, and families, they all persevered. We students persevered, and so did our teachers. And today, our perseverance, our efforts, they all paid off. Today, as we receive our certificates, we receive the proof that everything that we've been through, every smile and every tear from the past 4 years, they were all not for naught. In spite of the global crisis that we are facing, we did not give up. Our parents continued to support us. Our teachers continued to teach us. And we, my dear fellow students, we continued to move forward and we kept going. Indeed, this school year was different from the rest. We once more were reminded of the true value of education as well as its capabilities in making all of us progress. The school year may have ended here, and our junior high school studies may have ended today. But that didn't mean that everything is over. For every beginning, there is an ending. Every story begins with a prologue and ends with an epilogue. For us, the story of our junior high school life began on the year we became 7th graders. And today, we write our epilogue. This is our final act as junior high school students. The story of our junior high school life ends here with the closing of the book and the falling of a curtain. I know that some of us have our regrets, while some of us may also have our own worries and anxieties, as well as doubts on what to do next. But this is all that I can tell you. Persevere. No matter how hard it might be, no matter how difficult it is, as long as you don't give up, you still have a chance. Remember this. Those who gives up without doing anything are the ones who gets devoured first. But advice and opinions aside, let's not forget what this speech of mine actually is for. Today, I stand here in behalf of all the students of my class and would like to offer our deepest gratitude and thanks to our dearest teachers who never give up on us. Ma'ams and sirs, from the bottom of our hearts, we offer you our sincerest thanks as well as our deepest apologies. Thank you for not giving up on us, especially in this time of pandemic, and sorry for all the unnecessary stress and headaches that our stubbornness, laziness, and lack of interest or motivation had induced. We admit that we have our flaws, and we also admit that we might not have reached the expectations that you have for us. Admittedly, some of us might have talked trash about you behind your backs. And some of us might have acted like we didn't care about you or your efforts. Truly, we are not the best students that you might have taught and handled. And our attitudes and personalities may not have been the best. But despite all that, I want to tell you this. Ma'ams and sirs, we wouldn't be where we are today without you. It is because of your help and your efforts that we are able to come this far and reach this point of our lives. We are here because you never gave up on us. For not giving up on us and for giving us so many chances. Thank you very much. And for our parents, our families, our guardians, and everyone who supported us and helped us along with our teachers, thank you. We won't be here today without all of your help and efforts. To our dear alma mater, Damula National High School, for all the memories, for all the smiles, the laughter, the tears, the victories and losses, all those experiences, thank you very much. Today, as we go through our moving up ceremony, let us not forget the things that we went through, and most of all, let us not forget, but instead give our thanks to everyone who helped, guided, and supported us all these years for us to finally reach this point. As we move up into the next stage, Here, we give our gratitude to everyone and everything that we've been through. 4 years of study, 4 years of education, 4 years of guidance from our parents and teachers, and 4 years where we grew little by little. Teachers, thank you for all your efforts. My fellow students, thank you for persevering. And to our dearest alma mater, Damulaan National High School, thank you for being our second home for the past few years. DNHS Completers Class 2021, we've come a long way. We may have finished one chapter of our lives, but a new one is about to unfold. Once again, we have another long road to walk. Challenges and trials will definitely come, but do not give up. Believe and have faith. Continue and move forward. You have done well. Be proud of yourselves. Congratulations.